Hello Army! Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to discuss something very heartwarming and might make you cry. So, recently there was quite a shocking revelation from BTS Jimin about the difficult times he experienced during his trainee period and even after debut. He admitted that he almost gave up on becoming an idol, and the reason behind it is truly heartbreaking. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the latest updates about BTS. And if this video touches your heart, don't forget to like and share it with fellow armies. This story actually begins from Jimin's early days as a trainee at Big Hit Entertainment. Many don't know that Jimin was actually the last member to join BTS. He entered Big Hit in 2012, just 1 year before the group's debut. Imagine, while other members had been training for years, Jimin had to catch up with everything in a very short time. What made Jimin's situation even harder was his different dance background from the others. Jimin came from contemporary dance and modern dance, while to become a K-pop idol, he had to learn street dance, hip-hop, and various other genres from scratch. In several interviews, Jimin has shared that he often felt left behind by other members, especially J-Hope and Jungkook, who were already skilled in various dance styles. The first pressure Jimin felt was about his dance abilities. Although he had a strong foundation in contemporary dance, transitioning to the dance styles needed for BTS wasn't as easy as imagined. He had to practice extra hard, often until late at night, and even spent weekends in the practice room. But what was most painful for Jimin was when he felt he couldn't meet the expectations given to him. Besides dance, Jimin also struggled with vocal training. He didn't have a strong singing background like Jin or Jungkook. His voice range was also different, and he had to learn completely different techniques to harmonize with other members. There was a period when Jimin was very insecure about his voice, feeling like he wasn't good enough to be a main vocalist or even sub-vocalist in the group. What made the situation more complex was the pressure from the trainee environment itself. Big Hit at that time was still a small company with limited resources. Every trainee was demanded to perform at their best because the company couldn't afford to keep everyone. Jimin often felt like his position in the group wasn't secure, and every day he had to prove himself worthy to remain part of BTS. Jimin's lowest point occurred about 6 months before BTS's debut. In a very personal interview, Jimin once shared that there was one night when he sat alone in the practice room, crying, and seriously considering quitting. He felt unworthy to be part of something as big as BTS. His insecurity had reached a level that was very dangerous for his mental health. The main reason that made Jimin almost give up was a combination of several factors. First, an incredibly huge self-doubt. He was constantly comparing himself with other members and always felt lacking. Second, physical exhaustion from practicing too hard without enough rest. Third, a very intense fear of failure, where he was afraid he would become a burden to the group. The most heartbreaking part of Jimin's story is when he talked about the conversation he had with his parents over the phone. One night, after a very heavy practice, Jimin called his mother while crying and said he wasn't sure he could continue. His mother, hearing her son in such a state, also cried, but still supported and encouraged Jimin not to give up. The turning point for Jimin came from an unexpected support system. BTS members, especially RM and Suga, began to notice that Jimin was struggling. They started spending more time to help Jimin, not just in terms of technique but also emotionally. Jin, as the eldest Hyun, also often talked with Jimin and reminded him of the progress he had already made. J-Hope, as the main dancer, actually became an informal mentor to Jimin. He spent countless hours helping Jimin improve his dance skills, and most importantly, he always reminded Jimin that everyone has their own strengths. Jungkook, despite being younger, also often encouraged Jimin and said he admired Jimin's dedication in practicing. What also played a big role in helping Jimin through tough times was V, who had been Jimin's best friend since they were trainees. V often became emotional support for Jimin, and they reminded each other about their dream to debut together. Their genuine friendship became one of the reasons why Jimin decided not to give up. Bang Si-hyuk, CEO of Big Hit Entertainment, also had an important role in Jimin's journey. On several occasions, Bang PD personally talked with Jimin and explained why he chose Jimin to be part of BTS. He said that Jimin had something special that other trainees didn't have, and the combination of his dance background, personality, and determination was exactly what BTS needed. The healing process for Jimin wasn't instant. It took months for him to rebuild his confidence. He began to focus on his strengths instead of always comparing with other members. His contemporary dance background, which he previously considered a weakness, turned out to be a unique selling point that made BTS choreography more diverse and interesting. Vocally, Jimin also gradually found his own color. He wasn't trying to sound like other members, but developed techniques that suited his natural voice. The high notes he hits in songs like Lie and Serendipity are the result of years of practice and acceptance of the unique vocal color he has. What's amazing about Jimin's story is how this experience shaped him into the person he is now. The struggle he experienced during his trainee period made him more empathetic toward others who are also struggling. He became more appreciative of every achievement, no matter how small, and always reminds fans to love themselves. The mental health awareness that Jimin promotes now is also rooted in his personal experience. He understands firsthand how dangerous it is when someone is trapped in negative self-talk and self-doubt. Through BTS's message of self-love and acceptance, Jimin shares part of his own healing journey with millions of fans worldwide. The impact of Almost Giving Up is also visible in Jimin's current performances. Every time he's on stage, there's an intensity and gratitude that the audience can feel. He performs not just as an entertainer, but as someone who truly appreciates the opportunity he has to be there. Jimin's relationship with BTS members was also strengthened because of this experience. They're not just colleagues or groupmates, but truly brothers who have been through thick and thin together. The bond they have now is the result of supporting each other during their most vulnerable moments. For fans, this story becomes a powerful reminder about the importance of perseverance and self-compassion. Jimin's journey from almost giving up to becoming one of the most beloved idols in the world is proof that sometimes our lowest moments can become stepping stones to our greatest achievements. What's also inspiring about Jimin's story is how he transformed pain into art. His solo songs like Lie, Serendipity, and Filter are deeply personal and reflect different stages of his emotional journey. Through music, he shares his vulnerability with fans and at the same time helps others who might be going through similar struggles. And now, when we see Jimin on stage, confident and charismatic, sometimes it's hard to imagine that he was once at a point where he almost gave up. But that's exactly what makes his story so powerful. He's proof that with the right support system, determination, and self-love, someone can overcome even the darkest moments in their life. The message that Jimin always shares with ARMY is the importance of being kind to yourself and remembering that everyone has their own timeline. The struggle he experienced reminds us all that success isn't always linear, and sometimes setbacks are actually setups for greater comebacks. So ARMY, after hearing this touching story, what do you feel? Jimin's journey from almost giving up to becoming a global superstar is truly inspirational and a reminder for all of us to never give up on our dreams. Don't forget to always support Jimin and BTS, and most importantly, always remember to love yourself. If this video touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments section how you're feeling after hearing this story. See you in the next video, and until we meet again, keep loving yourself, ARMY.